Vice Chancellor of this university, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. The 585th University of Ibadan Inaugural Lecture will be delivered this evening by Professor Awodoyin of the Department of Crop Protection and Environmental Biology on behalf of the Faculty of Agriculture. Professor Awodoyin was born in the ancient city of Ibadan on 13 December 1959. His father was Idris Awodoyin, a farmer and a cocoa merchant, and the mother was Mrs. Awodoyin, a grain merchant and food processor, who specialized in the production of a naturally fermented food. For his primary education, Professor Awodoyin attended St. John's Anglican Grammar School in Ibadan, while the secondary school education was at St. John's Catholic Grammar School for Kiaton, both in Ibadan, between 1966 and 1977. He thereafter attended the Federal School of Forestry in Jos for his ordinary diploma program in Forest Resources Management. Then the University of Ibadan, now Obafemi Awolowo University, for his PhD program in botany, Masters and PhD degrees in plant ecology at the Department of Crop Protection and Environmental Biology of this university. During the forest training in Jos, Professor Awodoyin attended the citizenship and leadership training program at Man-O-War Base, Shere Hills, between 24th June and 8th July 1978. Professor Awodoyin had his mandatory National Youth Service Corps program, partly at St. Brendan's Catholic Secondary School in Iyamoyo, Okubra local government area across the state, and at the Forestry Research Institute of Nigeria, in Oyo State. He also attended the Advanced Digital Appreciation Program, tertiary ADAPT training, organized by the Digital Greek Institute at the University of London in June of 2007. Professor Awodoyin went through a series of training workshops with the British Council and the Open University in 2011 to be certified as the national trainer in distant life. He also attended the international short course in allelopathy at the Higher Institute of Agronomy, Short Merian Sul, Tunisia, in 2014. His career has spanned both research and academia. He began as a forestry assistant in training with the Oyo State government and served as a senior research officer at the National Horticultural Research Institute, Nairobi, before transferring his services to the University of Ibadan in 1995. He rose through the ranks from lecturer to the position of professor in 2012. Professor Awodoyin was the best all-round student in the 1979 set of ordinary diploma at the Federal School of Forestry in Jos, a feat that earned him the Frame Director Prize. He also enjoyed the Postgraduate Fellowship Award at the Obafemi Awolowo University in 1985 to 1987. Professor Awodoyin is a collaborator on the project European Union Shea Butter project on the investigation of the ecology and biology of parasitic plants of food that have created global awareness of possible therapeutic uses of the phobia asthma plant. He is also a member of the One CDC Equal Initiative, a work party for enhanced delivery of input seeds of vegetatively propagated crops like yam, cassava, banana, sweet, and Irish potatoes within an emerging formal seed system being coordinated by the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, ITINGA, and the National Agricultural Seed Council, Abuja. Professor Awodoyin served as coordinator of the production of the Nigerian Journal of Ecology between 1998 and 2018. He was, in fact, elected the president of the National Executive Council of the Ecological Society of Nigeria at the 2022 Resuscitation Conference. Professor Awodoyin has been a reviewer to many learned national and international authorities. Professor Awodoyin has also served as external examiner to several universities in the country and has been involved in the professorial promotion assessment of academic staff in some universities in Nigeria and the Ghana. He has supervised many students at both undergraduate and postgraduate levels and has produced 14 PhD graduates with 3 commentaries. Professor Awodoyin has over 100 publications to display, of which 54 were added after he became professor. 72 of these appeared in journal articles and 30 at conference proceedings, technical reports, monographs, and national workshop reports. On the Google Scholar, there are cited 690 times at each year of the exam. Professor Awodoyin has held many administrative positions in the university. Some of these include departmental undergraduate examination coordinator, sub-dean undergraduate agriculture, member practical year training program, representative of congregation in Senate, member task force on collation of academic results from 1990 to 2003, member Senate Committee on General Studies program, assistant hall warden of Awodoyin Hall warden Lord Taylor Hall, acting head of department of crop protection and environmental biology, director, deputy director of crops, teaching and research, and faculty representatives on the appointment and promotion committee for academic staff. He was professor and head of department of crop protection and environmental biology in 2018 and 2022, and he is a member of the committee on the appointment of the medical officers. Professor Awodoyin participated at the academic brief meetings that produced the documents submitted to the National University Commission for the establishment of Family University of Togo, Caleb University of Togo, and Crescent University of Abuja. He was the team leader of verification assessment group, environmental impact assessment of permanent sites of Ibadan University, University of Ogun State, Lagos State University of Health Science, Badagry, Lagos State, and Landmark University of Ogun. Professor Awodoyin is happily married to Kadija Olake and Olayemi Rashida. Marriages blessed with promising children, Toyi, Takira, and Radia, and still counting. Ladies and gentlemen, I now invite Professor Awodoyin to deliver his lecture, which is titled After Plants in Islam. Professor Awodoyin.
I seek refuge from Allah against Satan, the cost. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful. The First Chancellor, Deputy First Chancellor Administration, Deputy First Chancellor Academic, Deputy First Chancellor Research Innovation and Strategic Partnership, Registrar, Boss, University Librarian, Provost of the College of Medicine and of the Postgraduate College, Dean of the Faculty of Agriculture, Deans of other faculties and of students, Directors of institutes and centers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. All thanks and praise be to Almighty Allah, the Lord of the worlds, who, when he intends a thing to be, he only says to it, be, and so it is. It is by his permission that I am standing before this great audience to give an account of my academic journey, which I never thought it would be, but Allah permits it. So it is gratifying to have reached this remarkable climax with the opportunity to give my inaugural lecture. I thank the Dean of Agriculture, Professor H.B. Omojola, for nominating me to represent the part of Computational and Environmental Biology at this auspicious moment, and my head of department, Professor Magufa Balogun, for working tirelessly to ensure that the lecture holds. This is the 13th inaugural lecture from my department. The earlier ones were given between 1974 and 2021. Exactly 4 years and 1 month ago, on 3rd June 2021, my brother and friend, Professor Adebayo Omojola, stood at this podium to deliver the 12th inaugural lecture from my department. It pleases Almighty God to call him back to the home of permanence. May Almighty God be pleased with his soul and take very good care of the family he left behind. My journey with plants. Mr. First Chancellor, my journey with plants started as one of the toddlers in Ile-Ife and the parents who had to take a drink of concussion before breakfast at the Abba Clinic of Awodoyin. The interaction with plants continued at adolescence and teenagers as a member of the family workforce in the family enterprise of my father, Pa Idris Awodoyin. A renowned local merchant and outstanding farmer. He taught us hard work and diligence. That early, we were taught that a weedy farm is an indicator of a busy farmer, and that if you call them. Also that early, I observed that some so-called rules aspire for their own benefits, such as management of some ailments and serving as hot herbs to make delicious soups. Interaction with plants was sustained during my primary, secondary, diploma, and tertiary education that culminates in specialization in plant ecology under the tutelage of Professors Augustino Isije, William Walker Stafford, and Shola Ogunyemi, who further introduced me to good ecology and management. Also, as a research officer with agronomy at Ibadan, I have fruitful interactions with indigenous and exotic food crops like guava, mango, pineapple, African mango, African walnut, and salad. I have always enjoyed inner peace with the word plants. The first ever inaugural lecture series I got was picked up at the University of Fairfield Shop in 1982. It was titled All Flesh is Grass by Professor A.E. Adebayo, an eminent animal scientist. The attraction to this title is grass, a monocot plant. The lecture briefly presents plants as the commencement of food chain that keeps alive the plant eaters, herbivores, the flesh eaters, carnivores, the everything eaters, omnivores, the dead animal feeders, detritivores, and the composers that break down organic molecules into inorganic compounds. The foregoing established a tripod on which my research activities have been balanced: plant ecology, wind ecology, and agroecology. Mr. First Chancellor, based on my interaction with plants and my journey in plant ecology, I have chosen to speak on the topic after plants, it is plants. The creation of plants. According to the biblical account, on the 3rd day, God separated the dry land, terrestrial ecosystem, and created plants and vegetation. Not until the 6th day that God created the land animals and humans, and God gave humans dominion over the earth. The glorious Quran confirmed the creation of the universe and everything within it in 6 days, and the dominion accorded humans was confirmed in Quran 2, verse 30. This implies that humans have been given the duty and leadership to safeguard the planet and everything on it. The Yoruba mythology related that Obatala, with the permission of Olomu and in consultation with Orunmila, descended from heaven through a gold chain with the back containing a snail shell filled with soil, a white hen, a black cat, and a palm nut. When at the end of the gold chain, Obatala poured the soil on the water, released the hen to spread the soil to obtain dry land to the ecosystem. Then Obatala dug a hole and sowed the palm nut, which grew to palm tree, a monocot plant of the family, and the base. The plant multiplied to create vegetation that covers the nudity of the earth. Mr. President, from the above accounts, it is clear that plants are the first living creatures that form different types of vegetation over the dry land. 2. Human being was granted the dominion. The dominion was not aimed at exterminating other creatures, but to protect them from its use now and pass them over to the coming generations. The various species of vascular plants. Human is closely related to plants from cradle to grave. Plants, human, and the earth interact in the following ways. 1. Provision of many food types, oil and grapes for entertainment. 2. Herbal medicines to manage bone illness. 3. Horticulture for aesthetic enhancement of the environment. 4. Ecological uses as marine producers. 5. Industrial uses. Plants are renewable and have the potential to yield a wide range of products in contrast to petroleum-based materials. For example, cassava peel waste and sugarcane fiber are degradable raw materials for production of food packages, which offers an alternative to styrofoam. Green plants and ecosystem services. Green plants render many environmental services, which improve our health and quality of life. These include purification of air. Nothing on earth is as important to humans and animals as air. Through the process of photosynthesis, green plants keep their atmospheric oxygen content at 21%. If the concentration falls below this, it will result in drowsiness and loss of consciousness. And if above, all things will burst into flames. The caution at this point is, when this generation calls all things to make money, the coming generations may have to buy oxygen with the money. Save the plants, save the earth, as its teaching time saves now. 2. Plants in the mitigation of climate change. Climate change is the outcome of two phenomena: the increase in greenhouse gases in the atmosphere and depletion of the ozone layer. Plants play significant roles in the mitigation of climate change as follows. A. Carbon sequestration. Green plants serve as carbon sink to maintain concentration of carbon dioxide at 0.03%, thus able to mitigate climate change. Awodoyin and Inaugural 2010. B. Methane removal by tree bark. Methane is responsible for about 30% of global warming. Tree bark plays a significant role in the methane cycle by removing methane from the atmosphere. 1 ton removal of trees will reduce methane bodies in the atmosphere, thus accentuating climate change. 3. Plants in the humidification of atmosphere. Green plants humidify the atmosphere through the process of transpiration. The cool atmosphere under the canopy of shade plants makes sitting underneath relaxing and conducive for academic and social activities. 4. Watershed protection. Plants play a crucial role in the protection of watersheds through soil erosion prevention, water filtration, provision of habitat for biodiversity. 5. Plants, the restorative secret of natural farming system. The soil earth restorative secret of the natural farming system is plants, especially trees and shrubs. In the farming system, farmers cultivate a piece of land for 2 to 3 years and abandon the field for a long period to permit the growth of forest species through the process of secondary succession, cultural change, and corruption of the environment. The human evolution and sustenance has gone through 4 stages: early hunter-gatherers, advanced hunter-gatherers, agricultural revolution, and industrial revolution. All these stages come with varying impacts on the environment. The present human species has evolved through Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Homo sapiens, and Homo sapiens sapiens. The Homo sapiens sapiens, to which we belong, has two outstanding characteristics. One, large brain relative to parole body size, and two, ability to exchange ideas and information like speaking and writing. These characteristics are responsible for a series of rapid cultural changes and development of sophisticated tools and technological innovations that impact the environment to varying degrees, which become enormous at the second agricultural and industrial revolution stages. The two revolutions have resulted in massive deforestation, overgrazing of grassland, desertification, soil erosion, siltation of water bodies and drainage channels, shift from dependence on natural materials to slowly degradable synthetic materials, which clog drainage and result in flooding and loss of humans and resources. Environmental degradation and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Mr. First Chancellor, at the United Nations Sustainable Development Summit of 2015, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, were adopted with the aim of transforming our world to achieve peace and prosperity for the people and the planet. The SDG 15, Life on Land, aims at conserving the environment for use now and in future. Connected to SDG 15 are SDG 2, Zero Hunger, SDG 3, Good Health and Well-being, SDG 13, Climate Action, and SDG 14, Life Below Water. The achievement of sustainable development, the achievement of sustainable management of resources, and the SDG 15 with the four connected SDGs is the focus of ecology as a science, with the overall aim of human survival now and in the future. Ecology, study of interactions. Ecology is the study of interaction of an organism within its population, with populations of other organisms cohabiting in place, and with physical and chemical components of the environment. Ecology seeks to identify the conditions that the environment is being subjected to as a result of natural disasters and escalating anthropogenic activities, and recommends ways to mitigate the degradations for sustainable development. The degradation can be in the form of 1, introducing to the environment what we do not want as solution, losing from the environment what we want to keep for our benefits now and in the future as erosion, and 3, taking over of the ecosystem like alien species that will displace the indigenous biodiversity. For instance, Itis and Fofo has become a dominant species in Oyo State. Also, Lucinia Nicocephala has become a dominant tree flora in the tropical world and is fast taking over flora of the University of Ibadan. The failing farming system and ecological intervention. Adequate mulch can no longer be naturally supported due to shortage fallow period. This has resulted in decline in food production, despite the introduction of high-yielding cultivars and intensive agriculture options without inputs in form of synthetic fertilizers and pesticides. The intensive agriculture has further degraded the environment and impaired the health of humans and its livestock. An intervention ecological approach, such as intensive fallow management, has been identified as a solution to the failing fallow farming. Intensive fallow management for mulch generation. In order to continue to enjoy benefits of fallow mulch, farmers have the option of using mulch cover supplements such as grass seedlings, plant pruning, plastic mulch, and so on. Farmers who cannot afford plastic mulch can opt for organic mulches, which, if properly managed, will give good results. However, the adoption of organic mulching is low due to high labor requirements to collect, transport, and apply the mulch. Intensive fallow management that integrates the cropping and farming phases is an alternative mulch generation technique to circumvent the problem of high labor requirements. Here, plants which accumulate and recycle nutrients coexist with others which consume the nutrients. The accumulators are deep rooting and fast growing. thus recycling nutrients and controlling waste as the natural fallow does, while the consumers are annual or biannual feed crops. This comes with two approaches. A, growing free legumes as hedgerow with crops grown in the alley farming, and B, interplanting a crop or crop mixture with direct stem herbaceous legumes, improved bush fallow management, IBFL, alley farming. Alley farming is superior to natural fallow in soil improvement and control of noxious weeds, but enjoys little adoption. This is due to high labor demand, lack of cultural acceptability of introduced hedgerow trees, tree crop competition, farmers' unwillingness to introduce trees to the cleared farms, and the extension of hedgerow routes into the alley, thus making plant and harrowing quite difficult. Improved bush fallow management. This feeds into the farmers' normal farming practice of mixed cropping system and therefore more acceptable. Intensive fallow management for the harvest of atmospheric nitrogen. Nitrogen, constituting about 78% of air, is required by organisms in various forms, but it is not available to most organisms. It was converted to water-soluble compounds by the process of nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen fixation is accomplished through industrial, atmospheric, and biological processes. Industrial process through the Ibadan reaction, and atmospheric process through lighting and ultraviolet radiation account for 10%, while biological process account for 90% of nitrogen fixed into the atmosphere. Biological nitrogen fixation. Some free living organisms in the soil and some in mutualistic association in the roots or stem nodules of some legumes possess ability to combine atmospheric nitrogen with hydrogen to make ammonia. Also, some grasses, especially those in the order Anthropogenae, are able to fix atmospheric nitrogen in their root dry system. Although commercial agriculture promotes the use of synthetic nitrogen fertilizer, it comes with some setbacks, which include, among others, A, only 40 to 50% of nitrogen fertilizers are used by plants. The remaining 50 to 60% pollute the environment. B, synthetic nitrogen fertilizer stimulates excessive growth of microorganisms, which over time depletes organic matter in the soil, leaving the soil bare and unproductive. C, the bleached nitrogen fertilizer causes buildup of nitrates and nitrates in groundwater, which has been connected to health disorders such as blue baby syndrome and gastric cancer. Conservation agriculture practices, which seek to integrate trees and some deep-rooting low-growing plants, especially nodulating legumes, into the crop farming system, remain a veritable alternative to the failing natural fallow farming. My research interests and contribution to knowledge. Mr. President, my modest venture into the world of scientific research started in 1983 at the serious orchard of the then University of Ibadan, assessing the cover and chlorine content of Cypressema pubescens, a legume cover crop established to manage the leaves and build atmospheric nitrogen in the plantation. The cover of Cypressema pubescens under the shade of closed-tray canopy and patches of light in the interrow space was not significantly different. However, the chlorophyll content was significantly higher in the leaves of Cypressema pubescens under the shade than those in the patches of light. The result was attributed to the need for more chlorophyll pigments in the plant under the shade to absorb more of the reduced light intensity for adequate photosynthesis. Awodoyin 1983. The journey continued immediately in 1984-85, enumerating the population of indigenous fodder legume plants, Petrosia bracteolata, Roro or Inaugural, in relation to other low-grade plants, and assess its fodder potential and relative competitive abilities. The investigation revealed dominance by Petrosia bracteolata and possible association with Agropogon tectonic, the fodder grass adapted to dominance. The crude protein content in Petrosia was enough to meet the recommended livestock requirements throughout the growing season, the feature in 1980. In addition, the process produces root nodules that are actively engaged in the biological fixation of nitrogen, thus less dependent on soil nitrogen. The results imply that these two plants can be grown together to establish livestock, to establish fodder bank for livestock, and that the process can be innovatively used as green manure to reduce synthetic nitrogen fertilizer inputs. Survival of the process bracteolata on poor soils proves a Yoruba profile that ilẹ̀ kìí rorò kí ìlú mọ́ máa gbé. Mulching and root control. Mulching controls weeds by cutting off light from reaching the soil surface. Awodoyin in 2000 reported that the residual leaf mulch and thick leaf mulch controlled weeds in plantain field by 95.5% and 91.0% respectively. At 8 months after planting, the two mulch types increased the pseudo-stem height by 17.1% and 13.5%, and that of pseudo-stem by 16.3% and 13.0% respectively. Awodoyin in 2007 reported the weed control efficiency by mulch on tomato field to range from 50.1% in grass mulch to 95.0% in plastic mulch, and that mulching increased fruit yield by 170 to 230.5%. The study revealed that mulching generally control weeds and increased crop performance, improved bush fallow management. Mr. Vice Chancellor, an investigated center of Sikipo, Awodoyin, as an interplant in intensive fallow management to generate mulch in situ in the cultivation of pepper. The mulch generated by the current pruning of Senna interplants had 54% weed control efficiency and increased fruit yield by 21%. Awodoyin in 2005. The generation of Senna mulch within pepper plots completely removed the requirement to transport and distribute mulch materials, which are setbacks to ex situ mulch generation. In another study, Awodoyin, Taiwan, March 2021 reported that figure of the data accusing land base interplanted with place at 20,000 to 40,000 plants per hectare had 92.5 to 94.5% root control efficiency. Also, the maize grain yield increased with increasing density of acrylic interplants from 101.4% to 104.3%. This implies that acrylic legume has potential as a legume cover crop (LCC). Our study on green nitrogen fixed legumes as green manure in intensive fallow management. Our study on green manure potential of Sylvania applicata revealed that Amaranthus fluensis, a project, grown in 45-day green manure donation plots, performed the best in terms of plant height, stem diameter, and number of leaves. Awodoyin and Inaugural 2017. Tanimola Awodoyin and Tanimola 2020 reported that Mimosa dicotricha, as green manure improved the soil pH, organic carbon, total nitrogen, and maize grain yield on 120-day green manure donation plot by 8.9%, 29.4%, 100%, and 182.1% respectively. This indicates that Mimosa dicotricha is an effective green manure plant. Mucuna pruriens will repeat. It's much dreaded because it causes compressor fermentation when it comes to contact with human skin. However, the plant is escorted to the treasure when its numerous uses are considered. An investigation revealed that it nodulates from 4 weeks after planting, identity and Awodoyin in 2022, and its incorporation as green manure increased the mean fresh weight of Amaranthus fluensis by 61.4% to 740.2%. Identity Awodoyin and Inaugural 2023, and also enriched the capacity of beneficial nematodes in the soil. Identity Lodgers School and Awodoyin 2023. Identity and Awodoyin 2024 before reported that Inaugural Isuta, a Luaja, an annual modulating review to 68.61%, and that its incorporation as green manure increased the fresh weight of amaranthus by 40% to 240.6% in the main trial and 30.8 to 132.7% in the residual trial. The result implies that Inaugural Isuta has potential as a legume cover crop and green manure crop. Weeds underestimated pest of agriculture. Mr. First Chancellor, weeds are plant pests of crops, often underestimated because their effects are gradual, causing up to 37% total yearly loss of agricultural produce. Uncontrolled weed caused 33 to 79% yield reduction in Cayenne, Awodoyin in 2005, 65% yield reduction in tomato, Awodoyin in 2007, and about 30% fruit yield reduction in okra, Awodoyin in 2001. Weeds may become invasive if introduced to places other than their natural habitats, where they displace the natural flora and become monopolizers. Ogunjobi 2018 under exploitation in a floristic survey reported the dominance of Acacia brachiosa, Tapatili, in selected sites at Modele, Monia, and Okene. Uncontrolled interference of Acacia brachiosa with soybean reduced the grain yield by 71.2%, and its critical period of interference with soybean was 3.5 to 5.5 weeks. Sayaolu Awodoyin 2018, in the survey of ornamental plants in 13 gardens located at Lagos, Ibadan, and Ibadan, reported 51 ornamental species, with the exotic species to native species ratio being 16 to 1, and 6 exotic species escapades into the adjoining ecosystem were becoming invasive. This implies that the promotion of exotic ornamental plants is a threat to native biodiversity. Weeds interfere with crops by scrambling for limited resources of the environment, competition, and/or by secretion of chemical substances that will inhibit the performance at the low pattern. At times, the chemical may stimulate the performance, phytostimulation. Ogusanya, in 2018, reported that the aqueous shoot and root extracts from Lantana Tamara reduced the germination of Amaranthus tomato seeds to 26% and 35% respectively. Also, the shoot's dry weight of the vegetable as 6 weeks after sowing were reduced with increasing competition, with increasing concentrations of the aqueous extract. These indicate that adenopathy is the invasive mechanism of Lantana Tamara, which can be innovatively used as a bioherbicide. Awodoyin in 2019 reported that the leaf extract of Pentapenta macrophylla at 40% concentration enhanced the height and dry matter accumulation of maize and okra, but reduced the performance at high concentration. The results indicate that Pentapenta macrophylla exhibits the two allelopathic tendencies. Therefore, the extract can be used as biofertilizer at low concentration and bioherbicide at high concentration, a hormetic effect. Utilitarian approach to tame invasive alien plants. Making the best out of bad situation presented by invasive plants is a practical way to keep the plant in check. Adejuma Awodoyin 2012 reported that compost made from Petunia diversifolia, Sequeliba, applied at 40 tons per hectare to a net-degraded site, increased plant species richness from 7 before application of compost to 15 at 8 weeks after application, and that the lead content in the soil was reduced by 71%. Water aerosol. Consider the world's most noxious food species has defied many control measures. Under my supervision, for passing on 2024, reported that the water acid-based compost increased maize grain yield by 60.5% compared to synthetic fertilizer that increased the yield by 25.5%. Therefore, utilizing Mexican sunflower or sequelina and water acid to produce compost will be an effective way to keep their population in check. Abadism. Mr. President, abadism is the use of plants to provide solutions to human challenges, especially as alternative medicine to promote health. Functional 2024 are leading to the statement that there is nothing in the most advanced contemporary medicine whose embryo cannot be found in the medicine of the past. Submitted that ethnomedicine is the mother of modern medicine. It is a mother who will never go into menopause. Many plants, especially those classified as waste, have culinary and therapeutic potentials. In Yoruba mythology, it was reported that Osoyin, as an apprentice or slave, learning divinity from Orumila, when directed to remove the weeds around the house, could not identify any of the numerous plants that was in it, as they all have multiple therapeutic benefits, and ABC personal communication. My modest contribution to the promotion of herbal medicine is in the area of value addition for improved public acceptance, with attention given to the following: Euphorbia ita, asthma plant. Euphorbia ita is very effective to treat cough, asthma, and other respiratory illness. Kuma et al. 2010. Its decoction has been my family cough expectorant since 2002. A student of the University of Port Harcourt, who was relieved of asthma cough using Euphorbia herbal tea, has become a disciple of herbal medicine. Justicia Second, Hospital Tufa, in Nigeria. It is indeed a plant that reduces visitation to the hospital because of its blood restoration and immune boosting properties. It is rich in antioxidant phytochemicals, antioxidant vitamins, phytochemicals, and so on. Awodoyin et al. 2020. The leaf powder has been prepared into tea bags that are handy, and the preparation is giving a good account of itself. Ontario Umbrella argument. If there is an herbal medicine we should all take for general well-being, it is herbal. Though it is known more for the management of diabetes, cholesterol level, and high blood pressure. Again, here in 2010. The great order to taking herbal is its intense bitterness, which has been circumvented by making the powder into capsule. Contribution to human development and community service. I have the grace to supervise about 40 undergraduate students, 37 MSc students, 2 MPhil students, and 14 PhD students, with 3 still in progress. One of the PhD theses was to supervise with Professor Emo Akiola in the Department of Cell Biology and Genetics, University of Lagos. Mr. Vice Chancellor, aside teaching and research, I have served in other capacities within and outside the University of Ibadan. Some notable transformations being spearheaded in the various engagements are: students' academic records were updated and transcripts were generated for 100 to 400 level students at the end of each session in the Faculty of Agriculture and Forestry when there was a survey. 2. Non-student occupants were flushed out of Federal Hall and backstage racketeering was stopped. 3. Federal Hall was made attractive, which brought back the Federalists, who out of frustration had stayed away from the hall. 4. With the assistance of Professor Awodoyin, I facilitated a coaching session for staff of the teaching and science farm at Awodoyin, a greenhouse farm located at Bodija, which brought us using the almost abandoned 2 greenhouses at the teaching and science farm. This gave us good tomato and cucumber fruit harvest that were made available to the university community and beyond. We have just transplanted 40 mango grants in the teaching and research farm when the long-drawn worker strike started in the university. We struggled to separate the customers, which gave us 90% survival. We embarked on dry season deep irrigation farming using locally available plumbing materials. The experience was pleasant with dry season sweet corn production, which attracted farmers on excursion to the farm. How I wish the establishment of cocoa plantations recommended in my account of stewardship is implemented. It will have attracted some revenue to the university, especially now that cocoa farmers are smiling to their farms. With the cooperation of postgraduate college management, allocations to the department were accumulated and used to transform a PG teaching laboratory that was in a pitiable state to a learner-friendly conventional classroom. I got the Afex Street Industry Limited Lagos and the 1997-2002 CPED class of titles to transform a dilapidated seminar room into a decent learning space. I appreciate the CEO, Prince Martin Fisayo, and the production manager of Afex Street, Dr. Awodoyin, Inaugural, and the coordinator of the class of titles, Dr. Suleiman Ibrahim and Mr. Wole Todiola, for supporting the renovation. I was at the Fraternity University of Osogbo at an infancy from November 2008 to October 2009. Apart from teaching, I served in more than 20 committees to give structure to the university. I spearheaded the Association of Economic Society of Nigeria, ECOSOC, which was founded in 1973 but went into comatose from 1988 to 2022. With the approval and strong support received from our own Vice Chancellor, Professor K. Wadikowale, NNI-FAS, and the former DG CEO friend, Professor A.O. Adekoju, the ECOSOC was resuscitated in 2022. To God be the glory, the fourth annual conference of the Society since rebirth was successfully held at the University of Port Harcourt in May 2025. I was among the 13 ecologists who were decorated as a fellow of ECOSOC and admitted to the Society's fellowship. I have served many Nigerian universities, federal and states, and the University of the Gambia as excellent examiner and assessor on promotion to the rank of professor and reader. All the above are favors from Allah that I do not deny. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? Conclusion. We found our house, the planners, with drinkable potable water, with good soil to grow food, with clean air to breathe. We at least must leave it in as good a shape as we found it, if not better. Therefore, it is a glass. Earth is a plant-based planet. Our unregulated removal of the plant has resulted in the devastation the Earth and the inhabitants are experiencing, which has become a great threat to all species. Sustainable health of the Earth and food security is in the restoration and inclusion of plants in various crop production activities. Therefore, Mr. Vice Chancellor, for the health of atmosphere, it is plants. For the health of soil, it is plants. For a healthy food system, it is plants. For the health of human and its livestock, it is plants. And after plants, it is plants. To mitigate the impacts of the industrial revolution on the ecosystem, human perception should shift from industrial view of capturing the nature to aligning with nature. The demand for plant-based industrial raw materials has increased. Therefore, efforts should be intensified on researches that aim at expanding the utility of plants for current and future uses. Integration of biological nitrogen fixation into the cropping system will take advantage of 90% nitrogen fixed into the ecosystem to reduce synthetic nitrogen fertilizer input, increase the organic matter content of the soil, and enhance the quality of the food we consume. Acknowledgements. And in ways, since no favor are significant, I begin by thanking Almighty Allah, who continues to guide me and allows beauty to emerge even from adversity. Every person and the experience along this journey has been part of its divine design. That I survived in an accident involving 47 students, where 17 died is a divine grace. All thanks be to Allah for the restoration of life. May the souls lost in the accident continue to find peace with the Creator. I honor my roots at Okikasa, the land of Orumi of Vincent, and the descendants of Agri Okikasa. May wisdom and honor remain with you. I especially appreciate Mr. Wokule's Saturday and his family. My heartfelt gratitude goes to my maternal lineage in Narubi and Akadekele compounds in the day. I remember with deep love and gratitude to my parents, Pa Idris Ojuanimash and Awodoyin, and Sayyid Ratai Batu, Perin Awodoyin. May Allah continue to illuminate my lives. I appreciate my stepmothers for their kindness and support in forging a united family. Special gratitude goes to my siblings and their families, and in particular to their friend Dr. Fumilayo Akanji, who led the way and we all followed. My gratitude also extends to the entire members of Awole Awodoyin dynasty. The Abenas, the Lusakis, and the Fadimisas are not appreciated. I appreciate my in-laws at Ibadan in Osogbo and in the Jebu local government area for giving me in marriage Khadija Folake and Olayemi Rashida respectively. I appreciate Chief Paul Sunday Alabi and his entire family at the Police State for granting me a daughter-in-law in Dr. Mary Oludoyi. My primary and secondary school teachers are greatly appreciated. They laid the solid foundation upon which this academic achievement is built. Special appreciation goes to Reverend Father Fabian Clote, who brought his legacy from Cairo to establish St. John's College and School. I appreciate all members of the Grace and 377 Journalists, the Pace Center Group under the leadership of Professor Adekunle Ibire, and the administrator PR, Barrister Alado Femi, the custodian of all our leaders. My teachers at Federal School of Forestry Jobs, Obafemi Awolowo University, and the University of Ibadan laid the intellectual foundation for this journey, and be finally grateful to all of them. I am thankful to my colleagues in the Department of CPED, from the HOD to all members of academic and non-teaching staff. I appreciate all the living ancestors of the department, here present and online, for the strong legacies of excellence they left with us. I thank Professor Enso Barry, whose door was ever open to me. Dr. Elia Davis for his encouragement in Abba the Witting. Late Dr. Ooni for his significant role in my academic journey. My sincere thanks extend to colleagues across the faculties of agriculture and renewable natural resources, my work teams at Obafemi Awolowo Hall, Loteda Hall, and Teaching and Research Farm. I appreciate the Ecological Society of Nigeria and workmates at NIO, FIN, IIT, and Ireland. I am grateful to the Imam, Professor Miftarin Oloyede Abdulrahman, and all members of the University of Ibadan Muslim community, the Elite Muslim community, the Tenidile Muslim community affected, and all members of the Asarodi Society Division 7 are greatly appreciated. They are here. I deeply appreciate the spiritual support from the Global Tijaniya Welfare family. I also thank the past and current members and leadership of teams and UI. My appreciation goes to all members of Oxford University and of the friendly neighbor, landlord, and landlady association to me affected. My path presently crossed many paths at the University of Ibadan and other places in my academic journey. I am very grateful to all of them. I appreciate Professor Adrian Olayinka, who extends to me the brotherhood released to my friend, Chief Odumakide. Special thanks go to Dr. Gani Adeniran, whose father came up yesterday, Dr. Ram Adedokun, Professor and Dr. Awodoyin, and Mr. Inaugural. I appreciate Emeritus Professor Awodoyin and others who prepared this lecture and worked on the PowerPoint. Mr. First Chancellor, the very today is the birthday of Professor Awodoyin and work. Kindly join me to wish him a happy birthday and a good Philomena Institute, the mother of great boys, for the care she extends to all of us. Coming back home, my profound appreciation goes to members of my nuclear family. This is Oluyemisi Adegbaju, Engineer Mr. Awodoyin, Khadija Fọlákẹ́, Ọláyẹmí Rasheedat, Mr. Tony Bolúwatóbi, Dr. Mary Olúdòyè, Táyọ̀ Olúwatómiláyọ̀, Roger Tòmílọ̀ pẹ̀lú part of this lecture, Elife and Minute. You have all given strength to my witnesses and made the journey through. All of you will enjoy your beautiful rewards with you. Finally, to everyone here present and those joining online, to the farmers group coordinated by Awodoyin and of area agricultural and everything delegate, you led by Professor Shegun Oladoyin and Professor Tony Odewe. Your presence is a beautiful gift and a great honor to me. You have all proved to me that humans insulate against wood more than clothes. Thank you for worshiping God in honoring me. Ènìyàn gbóni lára sọ́lọ́, ènìyàn gbóni lára sọ́lọ́, ènìyàn gbóni lára sọ́lọ́, Mr. President, at this point, especially thank you for this great opportunity and secret restaurant.